Greetings, greetings, greetings. We are here in the lab. We're in the lab. Glad to have you all here for this segment of Run Tell That. Our guests to be joining us are Queen Quet, Teachers of the Gullah Geechee Nation. Of course, there's some matters that she's handling. And then also the Florida representative for the Gullah Geechee Nation, that is Sister Glenda Simmons-Jenkins. And we knew Sister Glenda Simmons-Jenkins. She was at a homegoing service, and so that's why, again, we're a little flexible with regards to that, and Queen Quet with regards to the matters. So I told them, sent them a message, say join in, come in at any point, anytime. So this subject matter, what we're doing today, and again, I have to say good evening to all of you, again, all of you who are checking out Run Tell That, and those who will be looking at the repeats with regards to Run Tell That. We say to you all, greetings also. This is involving respecting our ancestors, protecting cemeteries. And so two phases with regards to that. Again, so some things I want to get into with Queen Quet and Representative Glenda Simmons-Jenkins, but some other things I get into with regard to when we talk about respecting our ancestors. What happens so often, and I had someone earlier with me today, they asked me a question about a particular house museum here. And they asked about the house museum because I know how it's advertised that they talk about the quarters. They talk about the quarters of the Africans that were held in captivity. Now, I will share this with you all. I tell folks this. It is absolutely disrespectful to say, to reference African people, our ancestors, and call them the SL word, the SL word. I don't even like to say the SL word, the SL word, the SLAVE word. Some of y'all is cool with it, is fine with it. I tell folks no, because that word is used to dehumanize our ancestors. It's used to dehumanize. It dehumanizes our ancestors. So that's why I don't use the word. I go and refer and say captives. And why I say captives, because that is saying that something is forced upon them, that these people are forced into a condition, and that I respect their humanity. So folks go and talk about, they go to these facilities, they go to, again, these museums, these house museums, they go to these, these plantation museums, and they go on, and that's what they get into, and they like that. They're enthralled by that. Yes, I just did a sigh. That sigh was, I shared this with folks. I said that if they made money on your ancestors while they were living, why would you help them make money on your ancestors while they are dead, while they are deceased? Why, when they're not here, will you still allow them to make money? Why do you participate in them making money off of your ancestors who are not alive? Absolutely problematic, in my opinion, in my thoughts, not just my opinion, in my perspective, in my view with regards to philosophy. I'm not going to help anyone. I tell folks, I told people earlier, I said, I don't help anyone make any money off of my ancestors while they are deceased, while they have left here. They made money off them while they were living. And I repeat again, I ain't about to help them make any money off of them while they are no longer here. Why you allow the continuation? And then instead, you see the descendants of those people who were held in captivity, that were forced into this condition, and that they're making money off of them, and that the descendants of them, many of them still impoverished, many of them still poor, many of them still lacking with regards to the basic necessities that, again, other people are able to have, and they're able to garner all that. So again, for me, that's a problem. I'm not going to help them, still profit off of my ancestors. We talk about appropriation, but it's also profiteering off of our ancestors. And so that's why I tell people the most important thing for me is to respect my ancestors and to respect my people. That, again, respect my ancestors, respect my people, because I have to respect me. And because I respect me, then I absolutely respect my ancestors. And my ancestors could be my father. It could be my grandparents. It could be my granduncles. It could be my aunts. It could be my uncles. And it could be all of them. And that's why they're deserving of respect, because they help make me who I am, and that I have to make sure that they are protected. Their legacies are protected. Doesn't matter that this world was trying to besmirch their character. I know their character. I know what they represent to me. I know what they represent to this world. So I will not go and do anything to disrespect them or let people disrespect them. And so we now move on to this subject matter with regards to respect. What has happened, and this is not the first time, and like I said, I want to explore more of this with regards with Queen Quet, that there are policies in place that when it comes to again the resting places of our ancestors, that you have places from in Bryan County going down to Glenn County where people don't access their ancestors' burial sites anymore. And what's going on is that you have people or institutions or organizations or corporations that intentionally play a role with regards to stopping people from being able to get to their ancestral burial grounds. And that we then think that, and actually we tend to think that is normal, that is okay with regards to that. And I'm like saying, no, it's not okay with regards to that. That if anything, we need to be standing up and saying that I should have the right to still go there. And in fact, even some places you can still possibly bury people there, but they're discouraged from even being able to do that. And so with this segment right here, I want to address some of that and bring some of it up. Again, like I said, I'm trying to be patient with regards to not putting it all out there right now before Queen Quet and Representative Glenda Simmons-Jenkins come on, because I want to go and put it out there right now, because this problem is not just a problem that's right here. And as a matter of fact, I just finished with some people that was approximately an hour ago. And I told one sister, I said, whatever issues happening with you in Oklahoma, I have to be concerned about that. If an issue is happening to someone else in Detroit, I need to be concerned about it. If something happened to people in Quincy, Florida, I need to be concerned about that. If something's happened to some people in Arkansas, I need to be concerned about that, because I cannot let people do things to my people, to African people, and just sit on the side and just watch it. But that's what's happening. We have people who are watching, people who know, people who see, and they watch and they observe, and they're, as opposed to stepping up to the plate themselves, they now also stand on the sideline and wait for people. And I'm like saying, no, we need you to step up to the plate. We need good people to now step up to the plate to help form this web around this evil that's out there. And now so we can get rid of that evil, so we can remove that evil, put that web around it, and then we can basically go now destroy what's within that web, that evil within the web. But what happens, some of us are just sitting there. We're looking for some other person to be the hero and the shero, to be the Superman and the Superwoman. When I'm like saying, no, you are the Superman, you are the Superwoman. We need you to be the one that will not go out there, and you will now basically do the bidding for the people, to help the people. Because if you help them, guess what? We all benefit. That means you benefit also, and your family will benefit also. This work is not a work for the selfish, but this is a work for the selfless. Again, this work is for the selfless, because even being concerned, as I said, about those ancestors who've gone on, people who passed away, that again, that's not anything I'd be selfish about. I have to be selfless, because again, it's not about me, it's about them. Because I know the day will come when I will no longer be here. I will no longer be here. I will not be here physically. So the disrespect that's put out there right now, that's according to my ancestors, will possibly occur to me when I'm not at my final resting place where I'm going to be placed. And that you have individuals that will come and impact that possibly. And who will speak up for me then? Who will speak up? Again, that's what I just said. Who will speak up for me then? We got to have people that are going to speak up for me. Or at least that's what I desire. That's why, again, the work that I've been trying to do is that say, hey, that there'll be a generation that will come behind that will speak up for me also when I'm not able to speak up for myself. Because at this point, our ancestors are not able necessarily to communicate with us as traditionally we expect communication to occur in this realm right here. Because we know that, again, some of the psychic stuff with regards to, again, the spiritual aspect that comes into play, I understand that, but saying with regards to this physical realm right here, that they're not there, so we can't communicate with them. So we need to be able to communicate with them. And so that way we can then bring about some changes, because it is necessary for our ancestors. It is necessary for us as a people, because it's about showing respect. If I respect my ancestors, guess what? Then that means I'm going to have respect for me. If I respect me, I'm going to have respect for my ancestors. It all goes hand in hand. And so this is what we're dealing with, and that I'm troubled by this. I did a video with regards and expressed it, because in particular in the Island Packet on Hilton Head Island, it came out approximately 2 weeks ago, and it talked about with regards to Talbot Cemetery on Hilton Head, Talbot Cemetery, Talbird, Talbot Cemetery, which is one of the African American cemeteries. The Gullah Geechee cemeteries on Hilton Head is right on the water. And so you got development happening over there. But then also, sometime when you start doing it, they start doing a development Queen Quet calls it destructiment. When they start doing that, it impacts us. It impacts our community. It impacts our people. It impacts our families. So when they do it, it is almost a brazen and hostile takeover that they're going to do. And you already just said a brazen and hostile takeover. It's a brazen and hostile takeover of a cemetery, the resting place of our ancestors. And I've shared this long with folks down on St. Simon. I said that there are some houses on St. Simon, some of the cemeteries, that their backyard is a cemetery. Their backyard is a cemetery. Now, if you don't realize that's problematic, the host of that is problematic. But for some of them, it doesn't matter. They're not concerned with that. So again, cemetery, backyard, it's all good with them. But for me, and I think some of you, that will not be okay. That is not how it should be. And so with that, we are dealing with these experiences right now with people, again, backyards of cemeteries. And if they're backyards of cemeteries, they ultimately would prefer not to have any markings regarding the cemetery there. Why is that? Because they want to have further encroachment. They want to encroach upon the cemetery, the resting place of our ancestors. I cannot sit idly by and watch that occur. I cannot be at peace with regards to that. I can't be at peace with that. Not at all. And I don't think any of us should be at peace about that. And I'm going to throw this up now, which I'm going to wait for Queen Quet and Representative Simmons-Jenkins to ask them and make a statement about something that occurs. Is that what happens often when we see this oppressive type stuff that occurs with us, and we often have some people say, God got it under control. God got it. God got it. Or they say, we need to pray. We need to pray. People saying that, I go and say, what? I'm like, what the world? Like, you saying pray, like that's all that needs to be done. That's the only thing that needs to be done. I'm like, that is incorrect. That's not what should be happening. That, yes, I understand about prayer. Prayer is excellent. Prayer is good. But that's not what we need to just be focusing on prayer. I'm like saying, no, we have a lot more we need to be doing with regards to this, that we need to be taking action. And that I share that when people are saying just go and pray about it, to me, it's almost like a defeatist attitude that, again, they understand they don't necessarily have the same power that they think these other people have. So for them, the only thing, the excuse that they can make to get out of taking some action is to say, God got it, or say that we need to pray. Praying is fine. Praying helps with regards to the mental state of a person to go forward. But then also I tell folks, we need action. And we need action with regards to these matters when we see the things occurring. And that's why I'm like, I am troubled by this. I've been troubled by this when I'm at a function and I have an email that comes up or a message sent to me via text that, again, I now open up and I now see what's occurring there on Hilton Head Island with regards to one of the cemeteries. So I share this with you that it's not just one cemetery that this is occurring in, but there's another cemetery in the same gated community, because it's in a gated community. In the same gated community, they have another cemetery. And I think that one is used less than some of the others. That are the other one that's right there in that particular gated community. Then you have some others that are down in Sea Pine. I rarely think if anybody can get down there. And that's what Sea Pines, people talk about. They say that one right there is automatic. That one of them, like, you got Braddock Point, you got Lawton. So with those cemeteries, bam, folks' backyards are the cemeteries. And it should be unsettling that this is going on. Unsettling because, again, they don't understand us. But I'm like saying, we have to understand us. We have to understand that we must take a stand. And so that's why we put it out there. We sent letters and emails to the town council, Hilton Head, to the mayor of Hilton Head, and to other administrators, the city manager, the town manager, and others with regards to this. And so this is what this is about. This is about us now standing up and representing for our people, representing for our ancestors, because they can't do it for themselves. So that's what we need to be standing up. And give you background on this too. In the first part of the 20th century, because this is the second time my telephones were like with a 15-year time period that we now having to deal with this issue. In the first decade of 2000, Tom Barnwell, he is, hold on a second. This is someone from Hilton Head. Bear with me right now. I'm going to see something. Bear with me. Good afternoon. How are you?
Hello, Amir?
Yes, yes.
Hello, good afternoon. This is Mark Orlando
yes,
with
sir.
the town of Hilton Head.
Yes, sir. I want to ask you a question. Can I call you back in about 40 minutes?
Yes, sir. If I miss you, it's because I'm eating dinner.
Okay.
I'll call you if I miss you.
That'll be fine. Yes, indeed. Thank you. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Bye. So that call right there is from the town manager of Hilton Head. So what transpired, that's when we talk about action. I had some, and I guess I'll go ahead and get into it with this aspect. I shared this information, excuse me, I shared this information when I got the information about the story that was involving the cemetery. I shared this information with my relatives. My relatives were the first ones that I shared with, and I did phases of my relatives. I did my first cousins and my siblings. I hit them first. Then I went to my first cousins once removed, or twice removed, or 3 times removed. I then hit them. That's why I then went to them. And so that's when one of the ones in the first cousins that are once removed, twice removed, thrice removed, that's when one of them say that we need to pray. We need to pray. I'm a little bothered by that when I just saw the response was pray. Like I shared earlier, I understand that. But I was discouraged that when we just saying pray. And that may be based on that person's, I'm just saying the personality of the person with regards to that. And that's what may go on. And I guess based on my personality not being necessarily like that I understand prayer, but also action, as I share with you all. So with my siblings and with my first cousins, what then occurred, we began engaging in some conversation. And some of them began saying like, hey, listen, that this is really important, that this is absolutely important, and that we need to understand and respect that. Why were some of us saying that? Because in this particular cemetery, Talbot Cemetery, the one that's basically being obstructed, that is where our grandmother and grandfather buried at. Again, that's my siblings and my first cousins. That's where our grandmama and our granddaddy, who we call Papa, buried at right there. Papa and grandmama right there. So me, and then also we got one of our first uncles that passed away. He's buried there too. So for me, I might say no. And so we're having this conversation, and I was like, okay, because some asked me what should happen. I said, need to contact USA Today. You need to contact MSNBC. You need to contact CBS, ABC, NBC. You need to contact CNN. You need to contact New York Times. You need to contact Atlanta Journal-Constitution. Now I said that. Then I said we need to contact the mayor and the town council there on Hilton Head. Need to contact state representatives, need to contact congressional representatives, need to contact congressional senators, contact the governor, contact Beaufort County Council, or they call it council, but we call it commission here. I said we need to contact all of them. That's what I said. We need to contact all of them. I put it out there, and I even then went and posted it on Facebook and on other social media platforms, from TikTok to Instagram. I went and then put it out there so folks can hear and get this. And also on Twitter. So what then happens, I sent an email out to some of the elected officials there on Hilton Head and some of the civil servants on Hilton Head, the town manager and others. I sent emails out to them and other people involved in development on Hilton Head and about my concern. And to the Gullah Geechee Task Force, the Hilton Head has a Gullah Geechee Task Force. So I sent it out to them also. My sister, she then sends emails out also because some of my first cousins and my siblings, like I say, they're now asking, and so they now, I said, we need to just go ahead and send it, and like I said, we need to put down whatever your concerns are, how you feel about it, let them know. I then got a response. That was a call from one of the members of the Gullah Task Force, and they say, hey, we were on top of this because they had a meeting on that Monday, because the article came out on the Sunday. On that Monday, they had a meeting. And so I was like saying, hey, I would have been to the meeting, but because Ivy Bay had a function with regards to some architects to look at the master plan, or ultimately develop a master plan for the west side of the city, that is from Hudson Hill, West Savannah, Brickyard, Coverdale, Carver Village. So that area over there, now Woodsville also, that again, there's a master plan with regards to how we develop and how we enrich the area over there, which are Gullah Geechee communities. I sent it out. My sister sent it out. So they respond to my sister. Like I said, that was electronically, that's via email. But I got the phone call. And they discussed that the staff for the Gullah Geechee Task Force had that in their staff report. They were going to bring that up because that is not an issue that has occurred where these people are now saying with illegal process with regards to documents being signed, that in some cases probably people weren't really that astute as to what they were signing, not having appreciation. So that's something that's being used. And so now legal wrangling about that. My position is that in the face of all that, we understand the church's role with regards to, backdrop too. The churches on Hilton Head, the African-American churches on Hilton Head, the Gullah Geechee churches on Hilton Head have been assigned as the custodians for each churches, for the cemeteries that are there on the island. So that's why they have, and not to say that it's on their property, but it's basically been assigned to some. That was a deal that was brokered out. So that now at least there be somebody that could be identified. So for me, but my sister now gives her responses, and I'm talking with the member of the Gullah Task Force, and he's not indicating that they have thought more people would be, right there when they had the meeting. But it wasn't that. They said one person showed up. One person showed up. One person from the church showed up for the meeting. When I had said to folks, listen, I got to be over here, as I was sharing with you, and with regards to the architect, I cannot make it to the meeting that was at 1:00. So what happens is that one person shows up, and he does give his perspective with regards to this. He gives his perspective. Others did not show up. So now I'm looking at this right here, and I'm listening to this, and I'm like saying, no one. I said, I know I had told folks to ask folks to show up over there, because even if they can't get there, they got relatives over there on the island. They could tell them. That's why when I put the message out there, I put out the message to groups of people who are on the island, away from the island. So I'm like saying, wow. So, and that's why the conversation we're having, that they're indicating that, hey, we got to take a vested interest in this right here. We got to take a vested interest in this. As I shared, my sister got a response, and they said some things in the response that, again, they're going to look at the next set of developments that this particular group does. They're going to look at that right there. So they're like saying, they're basically looking at them, negotiating good faith about what transpired with regards to now them having the rights to go ahead and build that development over there. I didn't send another email myself. I sent an email and list of people, and I put in there that this is tied to solutions, that we need to have permanent and access to the cemeteries so that way vehicles and pedestrians are able to come through there. That's what we need to have. We need to have that access. We need to make sure create policies that are in place for the cemeteries, and that with regards to the policies being in place for the cemeteries, that also that if people violate, based on what are the policies of the town, policies of the state, and the policies of the federal government when it comes to cemeteries. And with Gullah Geechee people, we need to make sure that those cemeteries are being respected, because some of them are right there surrounded by golf courses. I think on St. Simon, that's one, all those ones in the area that people have access to is surrounded by a golf course. Golf course is right there. So again, we see that type of stuff. and in the hospital for the captive Africans, surrounded by a golf course. So the person that called me was the town manager, because he responded to the email, and that's when he said they're having a meeting tomorrow. They discuss this matter. That's on Thursday, and so he said he's down to talk. So that's why I sent him a response. Said, hey, we can talk. Then I sent him a response, and then tell him when is it possible. And so y'all just heard that when I finish this show, I will come to the rabble, but I'm going to go make this phone call to the town manager, Hilton Head, because this is important, because again, it's involving our ancestors, and the show is respecting our ancestors and protecting our cemeteries. That's what this is about. Excuse me. So I'm enthusiastic about this conversation that I will have. At least when I say enthusiastic on my part, to be able to share with the town manager what my perspectives, what my thoughts are, and what should happen. Again, like I said, anyone can go and put out their solutions, but there might be an amalgamation, a synthesis of them all, or it might be one that's best than the others. So I'm like telling folks, it don't matter. We ain't even got to sweat about no formula, nothing like that. You just go ahead and give your people your thoughts. Let them know what your thoughts are as to what do you, if you're going to the cemetery, what do you want to see? What do you want to be able to do in that cemetery? What do you think should happen in the cemetery? That do you think you need to park a mile away before you then have access to the cemetery? I mean, to get into the cemetery, and then again, the homegoing service, or should you be right there? Because before, that's what happened. We just park it in the area, and we could then walk right over to the cemetery. But now there seem to be there's some hindrances that will possibly occur in the future. So that's why we like saying, no, we cannot let this go on. We cannot let this go on like that. Cannot, because it is problematic. Again, I say problematic. That's why I'm just saying that's the easiest thing for me to say, that it is problematic and that it should not be occurring like this. Yes, that is what we've been about, and that's what we're going to be doing. And we're going to be fighting this right here. We're going to be fighting this so that that way, again, the proper respect is accorded to our ancestors. And I'll elaborate some more, because like I said, I know they were involved in other matters. And it is bothersome when we tell folks just take some action and they choose not to take the action, that they want somebody else to step up to the plate and do the action. I'm like, yo, this is tied to you. You gotta have a vested interest in this right here. Now I tell people, I said, some of the stuff I do is psychological. That when I'm like asking people what's the best high school, what's the best community, it's psychological, because I'm not wanting you to attach some value to that community. I want you to attach some value to what you are part of, because you attach the value to it. Then you will make sure it's taken care of. Make sure it's taken care of. That's what you're gonna do. If not, then hey, excuse me. Then people do what they want. That's the next example, that people are not being concerned about neighborhoods and communities. So other folks come in and they do what they want. And then we have to deal with the residual impact of all of that. We have to deal with the impact of all of that. And I'm not saying Jamal Touré cannot sit idly by while something like this occurs. And that's why we went forward with regards to putting the information out there. And again, still sharing the information, putting the information on social media also now, letting people understand what it's all about. And so we are now wanting to see other people take action with regards to this. And so what happened and why this was alarming to me was that last year, Queen Quet, a destructioneer came up there, a developer came up there, and they started developing houses in the area, started residents in the area. Queen Quet drove past there. She didn't stop. She goes back over there, and she knew that the area should not, because the cemetery there. So she now began doing the Facebook Live, and now it gets posted, which I want people also posted. So now it goes around. People are not screaming at this right here, screaming at, how dare you go and build right there? And the person tried to justify and rationalize it. So that's why I'm like saying to myself, like, we already had this issue last year just on St. Helena, and we rallied around St. Helena. So that's why I'm telling folks what happened on Hilton Head, that this just cannot be isolated. We brush it off that it's a smidgen. I'm like, no, that we have an obligation to let people understand we're in this together. When we in this together, we can destroy. When we are together, we are mightier when we are together. Get me mightier when we're together. And that's all I want to see. I want to see us be together and that we work on and that we bring about this change for this matter, that we change it, that we overcome it, that we stop it. And so that no families will ever have to worry about. That's what the town council man, the town manager understood that. I want to say, hey, I'm throwing out solutions so that way we got this permanent access and that based on ADA guidelines, all that for vehicle and pedestrian traffic who will not enter into the cemetery. That again, that's what we want. That's what we're seeking. That's what we're demanding. And that's why I'll be putting out there to folks that this is what we want to do. That's what we want to have. Because again, it's about treating us right, doing right by us. And so that's my position with regards to this. And that I'm saying to you, don't think that this is just a Hilton Head issue. This is an issue that's here in Savannah, in Chatham County. The issue is right there. And so when it comes down to it, if somebody tried to encroach upon these properties, we have to be able to stand resolute and then use the example that we got that's successful outside of here. And we use that and tweak it so it fits our norms so we can then go forward and so we can defeat these people. Again, because I say evil, we got to form this web of goodness around the evil, then we got to go ahead and discard the evil, because again, all it is going to be something that's problematic for us and problematic for generations because we see the pain that's happening right now. And so I want folks to now understand and embrace the fact that we cannot be silent. And a lot of us, we want to be silent. I'm like saying, no, this is about our ancestors right now. This is about us. And so I'm trying to figure out 24/7 rabble. Why is 24/7 rabble? This is Run Tell That. So I'm just the producer, Julius Hall. I guess he must have thought I wasn't aware, but I'm looking at what's going on. It's not 24/7 rabble. This is, Run Tell That. But again, this is what I talk about, how people try to pull the wool over on you. And that, again, all right. So I'm like, we got the background. We got the background back. So, but they try to pull a fast one on us. But that's what the system does. That's the system of oppression. They'll pull a fast one on you. They'll get you. And if you sit silent, that's why he did that. He did that. He thought that I was going to sit silent. I had to call it out. Now, other people, they just let it flow like that. But I'm like saying, no. Good evening, Reverend Jones. Glad to have you. Yes, and Grover Thorne. Yes, sir. That's my big brother, Grover Thorne. Grover Thorne. That's right, my big brother. And so Grover Thorne has been out there in the trenches also. So yes, indeed. So with regards to this, no more sitting silent about these matters. Because I will say this. Some of y'all may remember Evergreen Cemetery, that's over there in Liberty City, and the issues that were happening over there. And there were the concerns about that. You were uploading for the next show, but you were doing it on the time of Run Tell That. But okay, but I'm just going to say to y'all that, what that got to do with you changing the logo, because this is a separate show. You shouldn't, I'm just saying. But that's why, and the reason why I'm taught to be like this, because Grover Thornton, my big brother Grover Thornton, made sure that we were like this before we came into his organization. He made sure we were like this, that we'll be on top of it. So that's why I got on top of him. But again, Evergreen. And I know I was one of the people that expressed a concern and said some things about Evergreen with regard to making sure that it was okay. That again, it's like people were having concerns about that. So that's why I'm saying that this is not this. You think it's just a Hilton Head issue? It's a St. Helena issue. This is a area issue. This is us in South Carolina. This is us in Georgia. This is us in Florida. This is possibly we're gonna say even in North Carolina. I don't know about a lot of cases in North Carolina. But this is an issue that we know is going on. We know it's going on because, again, our story, like I tell folks, is the same no matter where we are. So we need to protect our ancestors and protect their legacy. We need to protect them. We need to be there fighting on behalf of them because, again, we will not be here without them. And that's what it's about. So I tell folks, that's our story. And that's what we will continue to do because we would not be here if it was not for them. And I'm just enthusiastic about, like I said, on us bringing about a solution that's going to be beneficial to all our families, and so, and when we discussed this matter, we said that it's not just, yes, Talbot is what we're identifying right now, Talbot Cemetery. But it's not just Talbot, it's all of the cemeteries from Amelia White going on down to all the other cemeteries there on the island. That all of them, Braddock Point, Lawton, Harbor Town, that again, all of them, we want to make sure they are taken care of, and those areas, and Elliott, that those cemeteries are respected, and that those are protected, and that our ancestors are respected in those places like that. Some of y'all who know about the NAACP in Savannah, Georgia, know about Savannah State University. One of your presidents of Savannah State, one of the presidents of the NAACP chapter here, in fact, his parents are buried over there. His relatives buried right there. His mother's buried over in Elliott Cemetery, right there in the same gated community where now we have the issue going on with regards to them and the encroaching, because that's what this is about, encroachment. And so if our ancestors cannot speak up, it's up to us to not speak up on that encroachment. So that's our story. And that is our segment of Run Tell That. Queen Quet, like I said, she's out there doing the work. We respect that. And then also, like I said, our representative, Glenda Simmons-Jenkins, that she had a homegoing service that she was at, that they said they'll try to make it. So, but they cannot. And so that's why we were glad for y'all to join us on this segment of Run Tell That. And we'll probably, because I want to definitely have their voices and find out, we may try working on that. Reverend Zach Lyde was someone else I wanted to have on. But Reverend Zach Lyde, he's out of town, and where he's at, he said he probably would not have a good connection. That's why he wanted to talk next week. So, but this will be a spillover show that we'll do with regards to a follow-up show with regards to this matter, because it's important. And it'll be interesting to see what I find out in the conversation with regards to the town manager and my thoughts, my perspectives with regards to this right here as to what needs to be done with regards to our ancestors on Hilton Head. But like I said, it's not just about Hilton Head. It is more than Hilton Head. It is going to what we know as Chatham County, Bryan County, Liberty County, McIntosh County, Glenn County, Camden County in Georgia, because these are the same issues that we got throughout. This is also Duval County, St. John County, Nassau County in Florida. And this is all the counties in coastal Carolina. And then going up there to Edenton and Beaufort and all of Beaufort, and also what we know is Jacksonville, North Carolina. It's about us now being the ones to carry on the work of our ancestors, those who've gone on, and we are those of the living. And for some of us, you got to understand, we are the elders now, and so we're the ones who need to act like elders. We need to act like elders. And so, again, we appreciate you all for joining us for this segment of Run Tell That. And like I said, we're going to have a spillover, a follow-up show with regards to this. And again, we're still going to invite Queen Quet and Representative Glenda Simmons-Jenkins out of Florida so that we can be on the show. And we can then have this full engaged conversation with regards to that, not necessarily just Jamal talking about that. Again, y'all can hear some other people and hear some of the things that have transpired, the tactics that have happened. So we say to our producer, this is the closing of Run Tell That for this week right here. Again, so peace and blessings to all of you.
I like that.